In this segment of video, I want to take time to talk to you about how the local church organizes itself. You know, every family has to organize itself somehow. Every church has to organize itself some way. Churches do that differently. Many of you have friends who are in the Roman Catholic Church. In the Roman Catholic Church, the priest is very much a very strong presence in that setting. And the bishop and others are very strong in that setting. Other churches in our area are what we call congregational churches. And if they have to make a decision, they get everybody involved and they vote on it. And so they often will have everybody together in a meeting to vote on various things that have to happen. The Reformed Church in America, our kind of church, is kind of in the middle of that. We have a system of organizing our life together that says we will elect people to represent us on a consistory. It's called a consistory for us. And so every year we'll have a congregational meeting where we vote on new elders and new deacons. We have 12 in our church, 6 elders, 6 deacons, and every year we change 2 elders and 2 deacons. So every 3 years you're cycling through the whole group. Nobody stays on and just stays on and stays on and stays on. That happens in some churches, and we don't think it's a good idea. We think it's very important for the board to be rotating and people to cycle on and cycle off and have time to reflect on their experience or find that it's not for them, that it's not the best calling or best fit for their gifts. And so we have a consistory. So as we hit each September, you'll see in the church that we start put out these forms where we ask people to nominate people to be elders and deacons. And we ask them to look for people who have evidenced a sincere faith in Jesus Christ, who have good lives, who are involved in the ministry, who have shown some gifts or ability to contribute to the well-being of the life of the church. And then we put those names into nomination. So for a couple of weeks we gather those names, and then at a certain point some of the elders and deacons who are going off, and some members of the congregation, and the pastor and the vice president of consistory meet, and we review those. We pray about the people who've been suggested on there. We think about our experience with them and the gifts that they've shown, their track record over the years in the life of the church. And then we make together a list of people that we will begin to contact to serve on the board. And so we ask people if they're willing, if they sense God's call, we give them time to think about it. We answer any questions they have. And then if they accept, then we announce the names of the 2 new elders and the 2 new deacons who we are proposing to the congregation to be voted on at the congregational meeting. And so then they'll come to the congregational meeting, they'll vote on them. And I've never been in a church or a situation where there's been a problem with that, because we are careful about how we go about it. And then in January, those people are placed into office. They are installed as the acting members of consistory, and the others who have finished their terms go off the consistory. And so the consistory meets every month. We meet probably about 3 hours. We really work hard to prepare ourselves for the meeting so we don't go too late. Some consistories will meet, start at 6 or 7 at night, and they'll meet till 1 or 2 in the morning. And we don't believe that that's very useful. So we do our work in about 3 hours. We prepare, we read things ahead of time. We make the decisions that need to be made for the church. We talk about things related to the life of the church. And so we meet through the year. And so one of the things for you as a young person when you get to be 18 is that you may be nominated to serve on the consistory of the church. If you've evidenced in your life a sincere faith in Jesus Christ, and you've been involved in different kinds of ministries, and people believe you have leadership gifts, you may be nominated to that. And You know, it's a hard thing. Sometimes people get nominated by others. Someone says, oh, I'm going to nominate you, and then you never get called or you never get talked to about it. But you know, you shouldn't worry about that. You should feel honored that somebody nominated you. And you should believe this, that God is the one who appoints people to leadership roles. And there's all through the Bible, there are cases where people felt like they were ready for something, and God said, no, it's not the right time for you, it's not yet. If you look at the Apostle Paul, one of the interesting things about the Apostle Paul when he converted to faith in Jesus Christ was he went out immediately and started to preach, and he got in all kinds of trouble and caused all kinds of problems and uproar, and the church had to sneak him out of town in a basket, and for 14 years he just went and worked and studied and prepared. And then 14 years later, he came back and he was ready to do ministry in a new way. And so I encourage you not to be discouraged. If you feel like you're ready, but you keep not getting placed in service, work with the people that God appoints. Work with the elders and deacons. There's plenty of opportunities for ministry that are not on the consistory where you can apply your gifts. But one day, God may call you to that. And I'd encourage you to think about that, to pray about that. It's an honor to serve, and it's a great opportunity to get a feel for what it takes to have a local church operate day to day. And so a lot of people learn a lot of things when they come on consistory. And so that's what happens to us locally. And I hope that if you're called to that, or that you want to do that, and that you'll be preparing yourself spiritually for that really throughout your life.